Well, it's super funny because every time I do this, it says I'm going live, and look at that, it's already been recording for 10 seconds, and you just don't know. This is day three. I want to turn back into basically sharing where I am and my thoughts and my just my vulnerability, I guess, in general. I was just thinking before how I had a really rough day emotionally yesterday. Not emotionally in terms of I was sad or I was depressed or anything like that. It was more, there was just so much coming at me in terms of things that I want, but how to get to that, and discovering things that you're like, well, I thought I had that sorted, but turns out I don't, right? So, yeah. So first off, I think I have to share that I'm pretty tired of not being able to break. Like, I'm not catching a break in terms of everything I'm doing. I've been trying to start businesses since I was very young, very young, and like I was saying to Naomi yesterday, I'm kind of like sick of always failing at them. Um, I've learned so much, like so much. I know so much about business, but I still haven't been able to catch a break. Like, yeah, we're running a business right now, and we're trying to make that our um, basically income, like replace the jobs and stuff. But both of us are still having to work, still having to do the legwork and just work for someone else. There's nothing wrong with that though. Like, I think a lot of people get caught up with like what they have to be. Everyone has a different calling, and some people are absolutely fantastic at being employees. They love the routine, they love what they do, they love helping someone else within inside the business. Like, it's it it's a beautiful virtue, but for me, like I need my own achievements. Where did that come from? I don't know. But like I said, I've been trying to start business since I was pretty little. So, like, not being able to catch a proper break and actually really get something in terms of finance and like sales and stuff, it's pretty gut wrenching, right? So yesterday I was trying to figure out what to do, right? Like, how do I sort myself out? How do I start again if I need to, right? Like, it's to me, it's not a matter of like everything's right or everything's wrong. It's basically always about adjusting, adjusting, and adjusting. So looking at how do I adjust? What's my next step? Where is my gap, right? And trying to be aware of my own gap. I have to say, nowadays it's hard to say you tried until you really tried and you spent a lot of money in advertising and say, well, this didn't really work, right? But it still hurts to see your own money not getting you results, right? Like, um, it's just a matter of traction. It's just a matter of just small results. But where I'm going with this, and the reason I wanted to share is because I do want to find what is it that ticks for me, right? Like, I can tell that that a lot of things that I've done this round are not wrong, but I should have followed a different formula. And even though I did, I think to a level I didn't. so so that's probably my own fault, right? Like, it's definitely not easy, and I think what makes it harder for me is it's having the business experience and the business expertise that I have in terms of I consult people on how to fix those gaps, and it's so hard to see your own gaps. It is so difficult. Like, I see people doing nothing and making three, four, five more times more than what I am making. So it's like, whoa, where am I going wrong? Right? Like, that's the part that hurts. But then I gotta remember that not everyone has the same journey. I gotta remember that if I keep comparing and judging myself based on what other people have achieved, then I'm not gonna get anywhere. And I have to realize that time is my best friend, right? Like, it's it's a matter of waiting until you really get the traction. I'm just moving this away. There we go. because time is the best friend, and I am a big advocate that putting deadlines on goals, it's suicide. I get that the traction is important, and I guess and I get that you have to commit to goals, but saying that you're going to achieve something you've never done in certain amount of time, it's suicide. I have not been able to do those things unless I have such a clear path. Let me give you an example. If you bake cakes and I tell you I need you to bake 5 cakes, you go, okay, cool. I'm gonna give myself a stretch goal and I'm gonna cook those 5 in one day. You know you can do it, or you know where your struggles are gonna be and how you're gonna have to push through that. But if all you do is bake cakes and I tell you I need you to make 15 wooden oven cooked pizzas and you never done them before, guess what? You can't put a deadline on that. You're gonna tell me, well, I don't know. Like I don't even have the oven for that. So where do I even start? And I can say to you, well, here's the oven. You're gonna have to figure everything out yourself. I can give you a recipe, but because you've never done it, you don't know how much you need to stretch yourself. And that's where I'm at. I I feel like I need I just don't know what I'm doing, and that's probably a good place to be. I'm struggling, and that's also a good place to be. I do like how much it pushes me. I love how much answers come when I'm um, in that position, or when I'm more confused or lost. It's a beautiful place to be, but it's difficult in terms of lifestyle and everything. And funny enough, talking about lifestyle, and I don't know how many of you go through this, but I mean, I keep talking about what lifestyle do we really want to live? Yeah, and obviously money it's the big factor in lifestyle. You cannot create a lifestyle without the money, right? You can't just live by the beach if you don't have enough money to pay for the rent, or you can't live by the country if you are not a fan of the country, right? But we like both. We like the busyness of the city. We love the motion of the ocean, but we absolutely love also the quietness of the country. And I think both of us are leaning towards the country. But what I was saying to her is like, yeah, we can move and live a country life, but it wouldn't be easy because we still have so much that we have to do for others that it would be a stress to really live a proper life. Like I want to wake up, and if I don't feel like working, say today I'm not doing anything, and I know what that means in terms of the business and what how much money we're making. But right now I can't say that. I can't wake up and say to my boss, "Oh, sorry, I'm not feeling like working today." No, and I'm not talking about sick. I'm talking about like you mentally just don't feel like I can do it. And I don't know again how many of you experience this, but I do get up some days that I'm like, I don't want to do anything. And more than want is like I have a mental blockage and I am slow, and I have to force myself to do those things. So I don't know how many of you experience that, but that happens to me at least once a week. And it's not laziness, it's not a mental problem. It's kind of like probably my body just needs different stuff. One of my big values is variety. So if I don't honor that, if I don't actually get variety in some way or another one, I start losing it like big time, right? And a good example is if I have to sit at my computer for 7 days in a row, oh, my variety really suffers, and I can tell I get cranky. And so, yeah, going back to lifestyle, yeah, we probably do want to live a different lifestyle to what we're living right now. Um, and it's interesting too because we are both super happy to downgrade everything, like how much, but we also like the high life. Like we like what we have. We like having 2 cars and a bike and like everything we have. It's super amazing, and being able to move around and so on. Um, and going back to what I was saying, like the only difference is that this lifestyle that we're living right now actually supports us being employees and being able to tackle life in a specific way. But I think we both would like to have a little bit more, a little bit more freedom. not money, but money as well. But money is just a consequence of how much value we add, and that's what we're also working on. So I think my start now is like I got so much to sort out, so much to sort out. I need to sort out how we're adding value. I need to sort out where my value lies. I need to sort out where my variety lies, and how I can live life feeling good about that. I need to catch a break in terms of I need to make some money on a different level, and feel like there is light at the end of the tunnel, right? Like I as much as I love the hustle, I think the hustle, it's only worth it when you start seeing results, right? And what I was saying to Naomi yesterday is that we can't keep counting the little things that we're repeating business wise as wins, right? Like we're fooling ourselves to say, oh, we created another funnel, yay, awesome for us. That's not a win anymore. That's on day. But if I ask a lot of people that I even know business wise to build a funnel, they don't even know where to start. They don't even understand what a funnel is, right? Like a lot of people think that a funnel is a landing page, right? As simple as that. Like people think that an ad to a landing page is a funnel. That's just an entry point, but that's not the point. The point is I need a break, but not a break in terms of I need to stop. I actually want to have breakthroughs. I'm missing those. I really am craving breakthroughs. I'm craving next steps. I'm craving just that traction. And I miss that because I got that in sport. I got that when I was rock climbing basically full time. I got that when I was studying full time. I got that when I did my eyewear full time. Like breakthroughs are super important, especially in terms of money, of stuff that it's conflicting. And I think at the end of the day, what's interesting too, and not the easiest thing to do, is actually stick true to yourself and figuring out what works. So for me, sticking out means that a lot of the things that people do doesn't align with me. The way people talk, the way people do sales, the way people, I don't know, like run businesses, it's really not the way I do. And so it's really hard to try to stay away from that, because it's easy to see how that gets results. And so I get caught up in that, well, I could do that and get results, and that's what I want. But that's not really what I want. What I want is a breakthrough. I want to have that foundation and knowing, oh, I know, I figured my formula out. I know how to be myself and also make the progress that I wanted to make. So yeah, that's kind of like a big status in general. And it's a conversation with myself. So that's literally what's been happening in my head. What do I do? Who do I talk to? What's the next thing? I'm just trying to think if there's anything else I need to download and share. I think that's it for today. Just feeling like I need some traction, and not knowing where to start. So if you're there, believe me, you're not alone. You're not alone. There isn't many people that I resonate with, and that share the same journey as me. And I think something that I see so many people failing at is compassion. And compassion is not literally just being nice to someone else. It's understanding exactly how they feel. I've been working on compassion for a while, and I'm definitely no expert. Like I can't talk about compassion, but for me, I have this ability now to sort of like understand where people are coming from, the way they're thinking, like the structural. I just don't get many people getting me. Like it's very interesting when you understand others, but I still lack that sort of like, hey, I need some guidance in terms of what do I do now? Well, what's my next step? Right. And yeah, I'm almost kind of like alone, having to figure out my own journey. And that's cool. It just means that it's slower, and I wish it wasn't, but that's the consequence of working on yourself and then working on business. Like it's so much easier to do business and then figure yourself out. it's a difficult road, but I chose it and we're here, and yeah, it is what it is. So yeah, let's keep at it. Let's Just keep going. I think it's just one step at a time, no matter how long it takes. And I think from my perspective, I feel like at the end of the day, I don't know how long I can keep up. Actually, it's like this is the tipping point for me. It's like I don't know how long I can keep up living the same life in terms of being an employee and depending on someone else and so on. I don't know how long. Like if I see myself at my 50s or 60s still being an employee, like that hurts. I think I will go insane. And the reason I'll go insane is because I'll have to change so many jobs because I get bored of monotony. I get bored of the same stuff. I need variety. I need a lot of action. I need like movement. I need big stuff. I like to solve things. So when I think of my own business, it's cool because there's always problems to solve, and I wouldn't turn the blind eye on them like a lot of companies do. They're like, no, but they just don't want to, and because you dilute it, you're working as one little piece of that whole structure. You don't have a say. You actually don't, like, even if you have amazing advice, even if you don't like everything, if you have the traction, if it's almost impossible because they need to turn the blind eye on stuff that doesn't relate to you. So that's part of being an employee, and I just don't know how long I can keep that. It's difficult. It's difficult. I think I have a time limit on how long I can stay with someone in terms before I go crazy, before I actually go crazy, and it has nothing to do with the company. At the end of the day, I'm not judging companies at all, and I love every single person that I work with. But yeah, there's a time limit for me where I say I'm bored now. This is just the same stuff in repeat. So yeah, and that's why I need to start getting more breakthroughs, because I just can't do this for the rest of my life. I can't be an employee for the rest of my life. I can't it's just too much. And if you are one of those that can't tolerate that, then kudos to you. But I'm kind of like in that limbo where I tasted a little bit of the other side, and now I just can't stop thinking about the other side. So, oh well, what can I do? I think that's it for today. I hope that connects with someone and they feel the same way. I'm, again, like I said on my number one, I'm not here to give advice or anything. I'm literally sharing, having a conversation with myself. I mean, like downloaded everything that's happening, documenting my journey, because I don't see many people doing that. Look back at this and see, oh crap, like I am on the same boat, or I'm growing, or I have changed this and so on. So yeah, so I hope anyone that watched this can relate. If you didn't, then awesome, because you have a different journey and you are living it. And I hope you are documenting your own journey, because that's important. Like, it's your own journey. What's there to lose, right? Anyway, have an awesome day, and I will see you on the next day. Now I gotta wait for this to finish stream.